Are you set? All right. Mike, okay. I'm going to mic it. You got it? I need to use it. That would be some kind of capture.
Recording.
Good afternoon to you all. We want to take this opportunity to thank you all, especially to the media who have made it to this press conference. We want to welcome Mr. Bakary Badjie, the mayoral candidate for the Kanifing Municipal Council, for his arrival. And we want to thank all the members of the campaign team. We have some personalities here on the high table. I've already mentioned Mr. Bakary Badjie. We also have Abi Jamejo, a member of the team. We have F. John, Fatih Jallo, okay. Fatih Jallo was also a member of the campaign team. Mr. Bakary Badjie, Mrs. Amijo, and Mr. Dabah Malik. I'll now hand over to Mr. Malik to actually give us a background as to why we are having this press conference. Mr. Malik.
Thank you very much, Mustafa. I will just allude to what Mustafa has just said. We want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has taken their limited time from taking time from their busy schedule to come here, especially the media houses. We all know the reason why we are here. The young people of KMC decided it is time that young people get involved in the politics. Because for so long we've been told young people are the future, and for us, we thought, for us to be the future, we need to start working it now. For long, we have been castigated for not getting involved in politics, and now we want to use this opportunity. We know 2018 we are having a mayoral election, and young people from different backgrounds. We have, among us, you have people that come from different political parties. We come together and we thought Bakary is one person that, if you talk about Bakary, I think a lot of people knows him for who he is, a man of character, a man that is ready to serve his people at any time you call upon him. But basically, the reason why he comes today is because he was based in the US a couple of months, but now we want him to come back home so that we can launch the campaign officially and then throw our agenda on the ground for people to see. Because we want to change Gambian politics, not only coming to stand and talk to people, but we want to come up with programs that are tangible, that are doable, that are time bound. And I think for the past couple of months we have seen what the team on the ground have done, and I think we owe them a very big thank you, because this is a campaign that is run by young people who are dipping inside their pockets to fund this campaign. And it's not like we have anybody that we are going to depend on to fund us, but that shows you how committed the young people of Kanifing are. And I think this is an opportunity we call upon all young people of KM and Gambia in general to come together and then support the campaign. And I think this is a campaign that could bring a very big change in KMC, because for 52 years it has been the same thing. We cannot continue going on the same way, so we want a new way. And I think December 1st have brought an opportunity, open up the political field, make it level that everybody could compete. And not to talk much, because we have a very long journey ahead of us, because also we have the elders of Igbo Town that are waiting us, and we have to go on a procession, and then from there we'll end it at his base, that is Igbo Town. So now what is going to happen is we want to make it so short and brief, so that we'll not keep those people waiting for so long. I want to take this opportunity once again on behalf of Team Bats to thank everybody that has come here, especially the media houses. We know it's difficult, but you have taken your time to come here. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman Mustafa. Then I hand over to you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Malik. He said it clear. The reason why we invited the media is because you are strong partners in this campaign. You play a very important role in this campaign because you are going to help us disseminate the important information to the general public. We want voters to vote based on informed choices, and we believe we have the right programs in these elections. Now we go to the candidate himself. Actually, he'll be talking for a few minutes, and after which we will open up the floor for questions. Each media house will be given one question to ask. But he'll be here for some time, and if you need one-on-one interview with him, you can contact the media team. Starting from me, I'm the media director of the campaign. So I'll give you my contacts, but there are other members of the team as well that you can contact. Mr. Malik is here, Sarah is here. They're all part of it. Mr. Bakary Badjie, you are invited.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ka. And thank you, Daba, for those remarks. And Assalamu alaikum to everybody. I want to start by extending my appreciation to the people here. And when I say the people, I mean the people who have been on the ground since the candidacy was launched on the 17th of July 2018. A lot of things have happened over the past months, and it's all thanks to the group that was on the ground. It's difficult to run a campaign when you're on the ground and the questions keep coming. But finally I'm here, and I'm here to join the team. Like they said, the candidacy is a community-driven, it's a youth-driven. It's something that we all sat down and talk about it. So I am the one who is in the front. But then we have a whole lot of people behind, and that includes young people and women and people who are interested in ensuring that we have a municipality, that a municipal council that manages the resources and give it back to the people what they're supposed to get. And we know that over the years, like Dava said, it's been more than 52 years or so since we got independence. And there's no reason why the Kanifi municipality, which is the biggest in terms of population, but in terms of revenue, should be where we are. There's no reason why we should. And that's the reason why the young people thought, without any hesitation, that we need to step in and see what has been done over the years. And we also bring in our own ideas, new ideas, to be able to change the status quo. And the status quo at this is that you have a council that is not able to meet the demands of the people of the municipality. And we know the major things here, it's about refuse collection, it's about not having good roads, not having access roads. It's also about the people paying tax but not realizing where the tax is going. And this is the whole idea behind it, that personally I have been engaged with communities. Born and brought up in Ibo Town, and all my life I did it in Ibo Town. So there is nobody who can be able to tell me the suffering of the ordinary man and woman within the municipality. Now you wake up in the morning, and sometimes if it is raining, you cannot leave your house because there is a lot of water. But also you have to struggle with the way you're going to manage your refuse. So these are the things that we sat down and thought about. And before even we launch our candidacy, we developed a comprehensive manifesto in terms of what our ideas is, and also have our priorities for the municipality when we're elected. So like I said, it's going to be a brief one, but this is what I wanted to tell you all. And of course, thank the media for being here. And we hope that this is the beginning, that we'll continue to work together. Because of course we know there is nobody who can be able to sell your manifesto or sell your ideas to the people if you don't have the media by your side. And that's the reason why we, no matter how tight it is, we say we must squeeze in a press briefing so that we can tell the people that we are here and we are ready to work with everybody to create the kind of a municipality that we all yearn for. A municipality that collects tax and use it for the benefit of the people. A municipality that is open to the ordinary people within the municipality and those not necessarily operating as a political bureau, but also not necessarily as a tecito or a CAFO where people can come in and get something because you support a particular political group. That is not our idea. Our idea is keep the resources and put it back to where it's supposed to be. And this is the whole thing. And I tell you that there is no personal interest in this whole issue. And if it is anything, I think where I come from offers better. But at one time, somebody somewhere have to make the sacrifice to join the group on the ground to develop the country. And when everybody thought Bakary is one person that they can recall and say, we want you to come and do this, I have to leave whatever I was doing and come and tell the people that I'm here. This is our message. If you want our message, give us your votes and we will do what we're supposed to do as a council. Thank you.
All right. So, the next phase is to open the questions, give the media the opportunity to ask questions. And we can first identify yourself and your media institution and then ask one question. Who will ask first? Yes. All right. My
name is Omar Ba from the Standard newspaper. My first question will be, listeners will want to know whether you are going to run as an independent candidate or you are going to run under a political party. I need two. The other one is knowing very well the difficulties that are faced in KMC. Council after council have come, they couldn't solve the problem of especially waste management. And knowing very well that there is not that much of subvention from government to these councils, I just want to know whether you are preparing, you have already prepared projects where you can actually tap funds to solve some of these problems.
Yeah. Thank you. See, I think the fact of the matter is, even though the Local Government Act provides for councils to receive support from the central government, but I'm not sure about other councils, but having had an idea about the revenue of the KMC, I know that KMC as a municipality should be able to sustain itself, even if they don't receive subvention from government. And the mistake also that we keep doing is the Gambia has so much relied on taxes. And I think it's important that be it central government, be it the local government area council, they also look at diversifying their revenue, whatever they're going to get the revenue from. There are a lot of international organizations that you can be able to approach and they can support you. So the whole idea is not just depending on what comes from central government or what the council collects, but also seeking partnership from other international organizations. I mean, we know we struggle with water supply. We know there's UN Habitat and they provide support for communities that need water extension. But we also know that if you talk about the refuse collection, we know there are other, where I come from or where I was, and other Western countries, they have renewable energy. What we have here as garbage or refuse, they don't have it as refuse because you collect it from the homes, you take it to a particular center, and you have machines to transform that into energy. So these are all things that councils should be able to do. And these are things ideas that we have, and like I said, while I was outside, I've taken the opportunity to see how it is done, and we certainly will want to explore that in the Kanifing municipality. First, close down the back of the dump site, move it somewhere else, and talk to some of these companies outside who have the interest to come to the Gambia and work with us to be able, it is going to be a public-private partnership, but we'll certainly do that so that refuse will no longer become garbage, but it become a resource that people can transform into energy. So these are things that we want. The first question where you started was about where am I going to run? And my candidacy actually right now is based on an independent group. All the people you see here, they come from different political parties. Some of them are already registered members of different political parties, and some of them are non-political. So it's very difficult for me to be able to say this is what I'm going to do. But what I know is that I'm supported by different young people, different women from different political parties, and I'm on an independent basis. But we are consulting. And once we will do the consultations, and with time, we'll be able to do a final decision as to whether we want to go on a political party or we will remain independent. But even if we go on a political party, it's going to be based on our ideas and our manifesto that we are able to discuss with the political party. And if they agree, then we can be able to do that. But as it is right now, I remain independent.
All right, next question. Okay.
My name is Mohamed Sanya, Sen FM Radio. My question is if you can explain your structure. And the second question is when do you conduct your AGM, annual general meeting? Yes, that's my question.
As a council you mean?
Yes.
Oh no, the council already have a structure because
you yourself. When do you last conduct your annual general meeting? Because you have a team.
Oh, okay. Yes. No, we are not an organization. Okay, we are not an organization. Like I said, these are people who are running their own businesses or working somewhere else. But it's because of the mayoral election, that's why we all came together. And the candidacy was launched in July, on the 17th of July. So it's not a structured organization that does AGM or anything. We just young people coming together to put up a candidacy to become mayor. So.
The second question was?
You don't have any democratic structure?
No, we are not a political party.
But let me just start. Basically, what happens is, as a team, we have divided ourselves into groups. We have the media team that is in charge of the PR, the communications, and press briefings and everything. We have a fundraising committee that is in charge of raising funds both in Gambia and outside, like Gambians in diaspora. So basically, for now, because we are non-political, we are not a registered organization. This is just more of an ad hoc, like to try and make Bucks a mayor by 2018, and then after that all of us go back to our normal things, and then he set up his team and then run the council. Because for years we have seen mayors run the council as a political bureau, and that is what we don't want for it to happen, because most of the people that you see here are already engaged. It's not that like we are there, we are in his team because we want to get something out of there. No, we are currently supporting because we think he's somebody who could bring change, who could unite the people of KMC and Gambia in general, and there is no better way you can do that than KMC. I think KMC should set that example, and then the rest of Gambia can learn from it.
Just to add on to that, I think you want to know how we came to the conclusion of choosing him as a candidate.
Yes.
Actually, a poll was conducted. Bax was not aware of this, but we came together as young people and we conducted a poll as to who can better represent the young people and who can better transform Kanifing municipality as a council. And the unanimous decision was that Bax was the better candidate. He was leading by 80 points. I think the nearest candidate, I mean, I cannot go into this because these are internal issues, but the nearest candidate had about 6%. So Bax was therefore unanimously the candidate of the people. That is how we came to actually. Next question.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Keba AF Toure, Forea newspaper. Mr. Badjie, thank you very much for the splendid speech, though it was very brief, but it contained a lot of information. And since you have been inspired by the young people to represent them at the mayoral level, the question is now, what are you going to do to make sure that the challenges faced by youth, such as illegal migration or irregular migration and other challenges, how are you going to tackle those problems if you are elected as the mayor of KMC?
Okay, I think so young people in general, these are national issues. They cut across the entire country, not necessarily KM alone. But like I said earlier in my introduction, KM is like the metropolis for the Gambia. This is the melting pot. This is where everybody from all the regions meet. And so if we're able to have success stories within KM, then we know that we can be able to have the same success stories across the country. So our idea is, going by our manifesto, we have a component on youth entrepreneurship and youth empowerment. And the youth entrepreneurship is, how do we identify young people who are into business and support them to strengthen their business? But also those people who are not into business but are interested in either business, help them, give them some seed money to be able to start up some business as a capital. Yeah? And the same thing applies. The thing about us and Gambia is, we said young people are idle, but the reality is that we do not have some very good systems to support the young people. There is nobody who doesn't want to have an earning at the end of the month or at the end of the week. It depends on what is available. So the structures that are available actually are at the disadvantage of the young people. Because anytime you talk about employment, they bring up issues of experience, they bring up issues of education and all those things. But they are important, I agree. But these are things that are making young people to be on the disadvantaged side. So we have the idea of supporting young people, be it in the music, be it in theater, whatever area young people are. Those who are in wrestling, in sports, we will reach out to them and provide them with support so that they see benefits in what they're doing. That way you wouldn't have to worry about young people being idle and moving out of the Gambia, even to talk about going outside or going to Europe illegal. Once they engage, look at the example of Senegal. They also have young people going out, Ghana, the same thing, Nigeria, but these are countries that have systems or structures that support young people in whatever they do. You go to Senegal, if you're in wrestling, you have sponsors, you have support. If you're in music, if you're in theater, everything. Gambia, our musicians don't have support, our artists are not supported. So these are the things that you don't have to worry about employment once all these things are in place. You know, give them something and they get up. Even the young people who are disabled, we have an idea of supporting people with disability so that they're able to engage themselves in something meaningful and they wouldn't have to be walking on the streets or sitting at the supermarkets and begging. You know, because if you talk about wheelchairs, for instance, they can be able to do that. I mean, there are certain jobs that even if you're sitting on a wheelchair, you can do. So these are things that we certainly want to work with within the council, but also with artists. And the final thing is all of these things will be funded from a package that we have an idea to create what we call the Youth Empowerment Fund. The Youth Empowerment Fund will have to be financed by council to support these people who have great ideas. Not just anybody, I mean, we need to be realistic, but anybody who comes up with a very good project, we will be able to support it.
Before you move to another question, somebody just sent a question through Facebook Live. He said, Babukar Keita, how will you stop corruption when you become mayor of KMC?
I know, man. I mean, I don't want to sound to be radical in this, but I think the fact of the matter is, I said earlier, that council have the means and should be able to generate enough resources to take care of its problem, even if it will receive subvention from government. The reason is because the amount of money that comes into the council. Now, the problem is we have leakages in the system. And we have three priorities. The first priority is about the environment. The second one is about tax reforms. And that's going to take care of the issue of corruption, because when you have too much cash at hand, you know, you encourage corruption. But once you have a system where people wouldn't have to be collecting every dollar from individuals by cash, and then you have a system where people deposit money directly into the bank or something, then you reduce corruption. So whatever money comes in, it will go straight into the bank, and you know that you're getting it there. Now, the second part of the corruption is within the council itself when they are purchasing items. I mean, so we have ideas to see that we have what you call the GPPA rule and all those stuff, and councils have their own thresholds. All of this needs to be revised. I mean, the GPPA Act itself is promoting corruption because you ask people to get you 3 invoices and you purchase something and they go and get you 3 invoices from the same suppliers and you cannot go and check. So all of these are things that we know about, and we'll ensure that whosoever is giving money to manage, that you manage it efficiently for the need of the people. And if for any reason anybody is found wanting in terms of eating what belongs to the public, then you'll face the law. That's our policy. And for me, that's my idea. Even when I was there some years ago, they know that I do not condone anything that is in line with mismanaging what belongs to the public. It's for the public and it should be given to the public. I don't know, I'm not sharing, but I know they said each one will have one question.
One question.
Again, yeah, people are waiting and we definitely need to start moving.
We may come back to you, but
yes,
that's not a promise. Yes.
I am Bakary Badjie from Senegal Radio.
Huh?
Senegal Radio. Okay, as you know now that we are having a democratic state, and any leader or any person choosing to be contributing to a particular society, we must fulfill the wishes and the needs of the people. So, do you think that all of the state of the people, are you going to fulfill it?
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm going to give you a simple answer, I would say yes. All right. We didn't put it there for political reasons. We put it there because we have the intention and we have the plans to be able to do. All right. So the 10-point reason why the choice is clear, it's not my idea alone or Mustafa or anybody. It's a whole group thinking and say what are the needs of the people of Carnival, and we decided to come up with this. So, and if you look at it, it's 2 levels. One is the council itself. How do we change the council to become a council that is responsive to the needs of the people? But the second thing is, what are the needs of the people who pay the tax? And what are we going to do to ensure that we remedy the situation that people face? So you don't have to worry about a vehicle not collecting refuse and you'll have to pay a donkey cart to come and pick it for you when you're already paying tax to the council. And also you wouldn't have to worry about having a lot of flood when it's rainy season because there is no canal or there is no waterway. So these are all things that we will have to look at. And the 10 points are plans. They're not just ideas from the blues. They are things that we thought about and we'll certainly do it within our time.
Okay. Next question.
Can I read a message for you from someone?
Yes.
He said, how will people hold you accountable if you become mayor, and how will they gauge your performance?
Oh, you know, the thing about development is visible. You don't, it's very visible. Once, for instance, if we say the community of Bununkakunda needs a market, and that comes from the community, and then we're able to put up a market, that is one thing that you can say, it's visible. If you're able to construct a feeder road somewhere in Manjakunda, I mean, everybody can see it. So, in terms of developmental issues, people will see. Now, in terms of the management of the councils and all those things, it's council meetings by law, they're supposed to be open. They're not supposed to be closed, even though the practice is that council meets in the closed. But the law says council meeting is supposed to be open to the public. And you have a gallery in the chambers that people can come in and view the council meetings, and they wouldn't have to say anything, but they can see what's happening. So in our manifest, and let me just refer that person and all the other people who are listening, that we have a website, and it's www.bakarybadjie.com. That's the company website. On that website, you have everything that is in our manifesto, well, not everything, but in summary of the key points, and all the ideas are there. How we're going to be held accountable is, personally, I support the issue of transparency and accountability. And even when I was working with a civil society, and I used to do trainings for all these local governments from KM up to Basse, these are things that we used to tell them, that you cannot be a council and you cannot be open to the public because they're paying the money that you're using to do all this stuff that you're doing. So we will ensure that we open up. That wards will meet with their councillors occasionally, and the councillors will bring to the council whatever they think the people need. And at any time, the council will be open to anybody who have questions to ask, or whosoever wants to have access to how much income council get and how much they spend or where it's spent it. People will have access to that kind of information. So, I mean, we are already transparent. We have a website, we have a Facebook. And if you have a council will have a website that people can access information about the council work and the council income and expenditure.
All right, last question.
Mr. Badjie, you did mention that media plays a critical role in selling out the candidacy of those interested in political posts. It's not only that, just to support your point, media plays critical role in disseminating information. Now, the question now is, are you going to make sure that if you are elected as the mayor of KMC, are you going to open up to the media, or is your administration going to be media friendly? And the second question is, the onset of everything determines the result. Now, from the onset, can you predict that you will make it come during the upcoming mayoral elections?
Well, let me start where you are now. Whether I will make it or not, I will. Because one thing is clear. I mean, Gambia started the process of change from 2016, and we expect that wind that is blowing is going to cut across all the systems. I mean, already we have a government that is democratically elected, and we have a National Assembly that is doing what it's supposed to do, and we expect the Gambians to replicate the same thing in the local government elections, and by bringing in, not voting because this person is related to me, or not voting because I belong to a political party, but voting because they believe this person is the one who can be able to do the job. And as far as I know, I am the best among the candidates. And people, if they're going to vote based on that, we are going to be there. Inshallah.
Just to add on to what you said.
Well, I'm not losing. That's what I'm saying.
No, I said, what of if you
can you listen? You have the right to ask, but you don't have the right to impose your question. Give him the opportunity to answer.
I am hopeful I will win, sir. Okay. I am not losing. All right. I think I'm sorry. I got the second one that I lost it. I know you asked two questions, but I got okay. Open up to the media. Yeah, we will. I mean, why do you think we call a press conference? We could have just come into the country and just go home and start going to the communities. But the reason why we call this press conference is so that we can tell the public that this is our idea, and this trend is going to continue. There is no reason why we should close something that is public, close it to the public. I mean, offices don't belong to individuals; they belong to the public. And if you want people to trust you, you certainly need to open up to the media and tell them whatever they need to know. So we don't have any. We wouldn't even have anything to hide, all right? Because we will be very transparent. And I know I wouldn't be found wanting in terms of my performance that I will start running away from the media. It's not.
Right. Two more questions. Yes, Fatima.
Okay, Mr. Badjie. We got a text from different people. Actually, which party were you? Political party.
I am an independent candidate.
Ever since?
What do you mean ever since? Like, until the end of time, until the election period?
Before. Yes, have you ever involved in
No, I support parties, but I've never been an official member of any political party. But I was working in a civil society organization, and by the nature of my work, I wasn't supposed to be engaged in active politics.
I think what we are...
Sorry, because most of the people are thinking APRC, young Bakary is there, so another Jola APRC want to come back again.
Well, I'm not APRC.
I think what we are trying to discourage, what he's clearly articulated is that this is a change movement. Yeah. We are not affiliated to political parties per se. This is a movement that is formed by people from different political parties. So the idea is not to promote nepotism or any factionalism. And that's why we have a broad appeal, and that's why we have a broad base, and we are going to maintain that. And that's why he is confident, and we are all confident that at the end of the day we are going to win, inshallah.
Yes, my name is Brando, IFK TV. I'm asking whether you will be comfortable to face your opponent on an open debate. Suppose you are invited.
I mean, yeah, we have clear ideas, so we are not going to run away from the media. I mean, one thing is clear. I mean, I think, and that's what Gambians actually need to move away from, and that's the kind of politics that we want to introduce as a younger generation. Now, you don't go to the people and tell them, I want to occupy this position, and you're not able to show them what you want to do. So that is why even before we launch our candidacy, we were able to have a very clear manifesto. We developed a website, put all the information there, develop a Facebook page and put all the information there, and tell the Gambians that we are launching our candidacy, go to this site and look at the information and tell us, you know, what you think, or this is what we want. None of the candidates, as far as I know, actually has submitted a manifesto to the public until today. So that means that even if you organize a debate every day, I will be there and I'll have something to say, because our manifesto is 13 pages and I can take one page each day for 13 days.
Last question. Last.
I'm even from the Blog TV. As we speak right now, I'm broadcasting live. But some of the people are even sending some comments and saying that you are a guy who is from the APRC, just want to use the back door and bring the same young people. So what can you say about that? Because as I'm looking now, some people are even right and say that he's an APRC candidate who want to use the back door and come and...
No, I wouldn't. The simple thing I can say is I am not a shadow candidate for anybody. I am a candidate for the people of the Kanifing municipality. And it's unfortunate that people just use names and last names to make judgment. And I know the person who said, I don't know where he's coming from. I don't want to go into those kind of things. But how would anybody be able to make a judgment that, oh, he is Yankuba Koli or he is APRC? What is the reason behind that? Okay, probably it has to do with my name or something, and that's what we need to stop. I mean, this country is a country for everybody, and we all need to understand that if we want to develop, we need to move away from those segregation and sectionalism and focus on the most important thing, which is national development.
All right. Thank you, and that brings us to the end of the press conference.
Yes, thank you.